That's a good thing relay. Continuing westbound 60 past Paramount. LAR 24 is with you guys. West Covina completely backed off. Westbound 60, number 2 lane blacked out. Meter 75 traffic is light as we are approaching Garfield.
PD backed off. Westbound 60, number 2, 75 approaching Garfield and traffic is light.
Westbound, number 3 lane, blacked out, meter 85, traffic is light, and we are to Earhart. Actually, we're approaching Earhart. So,
Westbound 60, 17, Tom 19, with the first two, approaching Earhart.
Westbound 60, number 3 lane, 85, traffic is light, and we are to Headland Boulevard. Vehicle blacked out.
Westbound 60, number 2.
S7, I've taken supervisor position.
S7, 19, with the first two.
Hey, Sarge, come back here and eyes over there. Go ahead. Westbound 60, number 3 lanes, meter 95, traffic is very light, approaching 710 energy.
Westbound 60, number 3, 95 lane, traffic approaching 710.
Okay, good. Lighting. And blacked out, number 3 lanes, meter 95, traffic is very light.
Be committed to the 60. S7, what were you advising?
Can you do 7 return to the 60 and notify Central?
Central has been advised.
And for West Covina, unknown how many occupants due to heavy and continuing westbound number 4, meter 90, traffic is very light, approaching Indiana.
Unknown occupants for PD, Westbound 60, approaching Indiana, traffic is light.
Hey, good, 7. What were the original warrants? Are they weapons?
Original speed, no mention of weapons.
Driving and no plate.
And no mention of weapons, right?
Confirm. No mention of any weapons.
Original 122, 103, no mention of weapons.
Alright, westbound number 2 lane, meter 90, traffic is very light. We are through Lorena.
Westbound 60, number 290, still Lorena.
Approach the LA interchange down by here.
Westbound 60, approaching 18.
Westbound 10, westbound Santa Monica Freeway, sir.
Westbound 10.
Alright, copy. Westbound 10, traffic is light, meter 80. We're headed westbound 10 to the LA interchange.
Westbound 10 lane traffic, headed westbound 10.
Two CHP officers are in pursuit.
Gil Davis overhead in Sky 5. This guy's wanted for speed, Gil, yes? That's right. It was West Covina PD that tried to pull this vehicle over. The CHP just took over the pursuit. The pursuit was coming westbound on the 60 freeway, came through the city of Industry, and is now coming into downtown LA on the 10 freeway westbound, approaching the 110 freeway. As I zoom in here, you see this maroon pickup truck here. Is going at a high rate of speed. Looks like he's going to be exiting. Mike, he's going to exit the freeway here. Let's see which way he goes. Let's slide to the right so we can keep an eye on him here. But here he goes into some traffic here. Nowhere to go. Let's see. He's going to use the cone zone there. He's going to go into the cones, and he's going to come out here. This is going to be Alameda. He's going to make a right-hand turn in front of traffic, and he's now northbound on Alameda here in downtown LA.
Not what you want to see when a driver is moving with reckless disregard for the motoring public, and that appears to be what's happening here with the potential for cross traffic and a collision at an intersection at the very least. This driver moving very quickly. Again, speed was the want. This driver not afraid to get on the gas, and that's happening again. This Chevy pickup truck in the downtown Los Angeles area, again coming out of West Covina, westbound on the 60 freeway. CHP taking over just within the last couple of minutes as we come over this.
And yeah, Micah and Sherry, we're gonna see if LAPD gets involved in this, since it's in downtown LA, in the central division of LAPD. We'll see if they get involved. But for now, the truck driving most of the time with his headlights out. Here he is, hard on the brakes. Let's see, we're going to come up to an intersection. He's going to make a right-hand turn. He's got that cross traffic there, very dangerous with no headlights. That car didn't see that guy coming.
That's a Waymo.
He's going to continue here. Yeah. Oh, that was a Waymo. Okay. Good eye there. He's going to make a left-hand turn now on 8th Street, it looks like, westbound on 8th Street, and we're going to be getting into some of the buildings here in a minute. We're going to get real steep, Mike.
Yeah, this is kind of where it starts to get complicated in downtown Los Angeles. You know, there's usually quite a bit of traffic, you know, during the day here, but at night you can see that the roads are fairly empty, and he's able to make these wide turns that kind of go into the opposite lane, and now driving on the opposite side of the road, trying to get past that emergency situation there. It looks like that was on 7th Street, and now continuing through these streets where, you know, these buildings serve as a pretty good cover from the aerial coverage every now and then. And we've seen many of these people ditch their cars, and suspects ditch their cars and run into the buildings, and now he's making a U-turn and deciding to go back to where he came from. But we do have the night sun from the authorities above him. We had CHP following him. Who's in pursuit now? Do we have Central Division, LAPD, now on his tail, or did they decide to hold back?
Not yet. We haven't heard from LAPD coming into this pursuit. We hear the CHP airship still calling it overhead. It might be actually a sheriff's helicopter that's overhead, but they're on a CHP frequency right now. But the CHP was the last unit, or the last division to, or law enforcement agency to be on this pursuit. He's between buildings here. He's coming westbound here. He comes out of the buildings. He's going to continue through. He had some cross traffic there, and I'm not sure if he hit that car or not, but we got the night sunlight following it. There he is at the bottom of your screen, right under us, Mike. And we're going to have to spin the camera here, unfortunately. Hopefully you don't get you sick at home. But here he goes. Back under us is going to be, now he's making a left-hand turn southbound. So a little tricky here in the buildings. He's going to just keep coming left, Mike, coming left. And he's now southbound on Olive. And continuing, the airship's doing a great job keeping track of the vehicle here. We'll see if LAPD gets involved in this, since it's in their division. He's going to make a right-hand turn westbound, Mike, 1 Wilshire building.
Yeah, this is a very dangerous situation for a number of reasons. Among them, a number of these streets are one way, and this driver appears to be moving in the wrong direction at some points. Now into a parking garage, and this is where we often see pursuits go to die. This person now backing out. He's going to continue on, unable maybe to get into that thing, to that parking garage. Gil, it looks as though
He's on the street.
CHP may have fallen back on this. Obviously, they're tracking this from the air, but from what we can see, there's nobody directly behind him in terms of law enforcement on the ground.
And we want to welcome our viewers
so
here,
far, yeah.
Gil, to the 11 o'clock hour of the KTLA 5 News. We are in breaking news right now, a CHP pursuit through downtown Los Angeles surface streets of this pickup truck that is wanted for speed and since has gotten off the freeway and here into downtown Los Angeles and doing all sorts of maneuvers, going into the wrong side of the street, going into a parking garage and deciding to back out of that, not really knowing which way to go right now in downtown Los Angeles. But we had CHP that was pursuing this, and now it looks like they are onto him again. The Night Sun following him. But again, this is a pursuit of a pickup truck and wanted for speed now in the downtown Los Angeles area.
And again, into a parking garage. It looks as though he may have gone. Oh, it looks like they may have.
Hold here.
You've got an officer outside the vehicle, and then the backup coming as well. So it leads you to believe that he may be just out of sight here and stopped at the entrance of this parking garage. Gil, what can you tell us?
Boy, yeah, very difficult to shoot this with all the buildings here, but it sounds like he's inside the parking structure, and he might be on foot now running through the parking structure. So we'll get a wide shot here. We'll see if he comes back out of the structure itself. It looks like there might be just one entrance only here. The CHP has that one entrance where he went in blocked at this point. So it sounds like, from what I'm hearing on the scanners, that he might be out on foot. They're describing what the person's wearing. But at this point, very difficult to tell if he's going to come out of that or if he can possibly get into this building that may be attached to that parking structure.
Right, or a stairwell that would spill out into the street over there, probably maybe on the other side of where the CHP is right now. But surely they're going to create some kind of a perimeter around this structure and move in on the suspect. And so, you know, his chances, at least you would think, are pretty slim of getting away unless he was able to elude them through another exit from this structure. And at least it's not a gigantic parking structure. I mean, there's always that can happen. You know?
It looked as though that was his plan as he came into the downtown area, getting off the freeway again. Wanted for speed out of West Covina. West Covina PD initiating this. CHP taking over as it was on the freeway on the 60 westbound, moving in toward downtown Los Angeles. Driver gets off the freeway, spends a little bit of time on surface streets before trying to go into one parking garage. He ended up backing out and going several blocks and now into another parking garage. So it looks as though maybe the plan was to get into a parking garage and try and make a run for it. It sounds, according to Gil's reporting, as though he may have gotten out of that maroon pickup truck, a Chevy pickup that CHP was pursuing. And now you've got a number of officers surrounding this parking garage and adjacent building. Hard to say what's housed in that building, but obviously more and more resources showing up on scene here. And Gil, are you hearing anything else as to what they may be up against here?
So far, no. It sounds like they may have the person inside this parking structure still. Might have gone up to the second story, they're saying now, but we're going to pick up an orbit here and try to get not so steep on this because it's going to spin the camera. But as I zoom in, you can see some of the CHP officers on foot here on 8th Street walking eastbound, and they're going to search all the exit points of that parking structure to make sure that the suspect doesn't get out.
Right. You know, yeah, at this point, you know, it seems like their plan is to, you know, create the perimeter, even if it's, you know, just by the manpower itself, you know, and checking every nook and cranny of this parking garage. It looks from where we're looking like there aren't that many cars that are parked in here anyway, so that gives him less places to hide from authorities. And then if he's there on the second floor, you wonder if he's going to try and make it up to the top of that roof somehow and see if he can escape that way. But at this point, you know, we're just trying to see if maybe we can catch a glimpse of this suspect who is wanted for speed and really put a number on the CHP. He was going almost 100 miles per hour on the 110 freeway and before he exited here in downtown Los Angeles.
Yeah, so far, no word on the suspect getting out of the parking structure at this point. So the good news is they have it surrounded and officers at all exit points. So we'll see if they are able to regain eyes on the suspect.
So it looks as though it's a 4-story parking garage, unless there's something that's subterranean, as often is the case in a parking garage like this. They might be dealing with other access points that are underground, potentially connected to an adjacent building. Hard to say at this point, but the resources continue to pour into the area. Again, this was a pursuit of a driver wanted for speeding out of West Covina into the downtown Los Angeles area. And from what we can tell, this driver has likely foot-bailed inside this parking structure here downtown along 8th Street. And it's connected to a building. Now you've got more law enforcement. That looks like LAPD moving in as well, assisting in the search for this suspect as they continue to surround the parking garage and the adjacent building. So far, no sign of the suspect from what we have seen as CHP continues to search inside this building, and you see him there surrounding the building as well.
Yeah, I can hear LAPD dispatchers talking about the pursuit, trying to get information on the suspect that was driving the vehicle. So they're definitely on top of it. They're assisting the CHP in this perimeter to find that suspect.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, it looks like at this point, from what we understand, Gil, that he was operating alone. There were no other passengers in the car. Is that correct?
From what we heard, it was just the driver, although the LAPD is asking if there were multiple people in the vehicle. They haven't got a confirmation on that from the CHP yet. But it was a maroon pickup truck. When we heard of the pursuit, it was eastbound on the 10 freeway. West Covina PD were in pursuit. A sheriff's airship was assisting on that pursuit. It tracked all the way down to the 60 freeway, came westbound, and it eventually ends up here in downtown LA where it bailed here. But you see the CHP officers here at that exit. I'll come over to the Grand Avenue side, and you see the LAPD there and the CHP that pulled in right behind the truck when it went in there.
All right, Gil Davis in Sky 5 will continue to follow the developments and come back to this live if necessary.